if you're not systemizing and you're not structuring your company properly, you're living in a cage and you're going to die in that cage.
If you can't work anymore, is the money still going to come in? If you lost the ability to walk, if you lost the ability to talk, if you lost the ability to see, is your business still going to be able to survive?
You're picking up the phone, you're answering emails, you're answering text messages, you're doing the job yourself. Feels like there's not enough time in the day, and there has to be a better way. It wouldn't even be conceivable to hear $1 million or $2 million or $3 million.
Because we're always talking about like, oh, you know, my why is my family. I work so hard for my family. Okay, but are you just always working for your family and you're never with your family? On today's episode, we're going to dive deep into business building, business infrastructure, business scaling, and what it's going to take you to systemize, optimize, and delegate your business. We're going to dive deep into the following. We're going to talk about our Empresarios Mansion Mastermind that just took place last week. We're also going to talk about the community that's being built by Empresarios, and we're going to talk about some of the case studies that attended this mastermind that you will be very interested to hear about. We're also going to talk about the common struggles that most businesses experience throughout their tenure. So put the phone down, get rid of all the distractions, focus, and enjoy the show. Let the boy watch. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 69, and we are going to be talking about business today. So if you are a current business owner or an aspiring business owner, you definitely want to stick around for this one. With that being said, gentlemen, welcome back.
Hello, hello.
All right, so we just finished off our first Mansion Mastermind of the year. And it was so good, and it was so impactful that we just have to do one more this year. Yes?
Run it back.
October 16th and 17th, for anybody out there that's watching or listening, if you want to attend, by the way, all you got to do is text the word mastermind to 623-292-7575. Text the word mastermind to 623-292-7575. So, little recap of the mastermind, of the Mansion Mastermind that just took place last week. We'd love to hear you guys' feedback because, man, I was overwhelmed with love, gratitude, hope, faith, community, camaraderie, everything you can think of, like everything that falls under that book. What's you guys' feedback?
First off, the houses were dope. The house that we ended off at was a really, really nice house. We brought the kids over. We brought the family over to check it out. I was like, I think I told you, I was like, yeah, man, this house is so big. I don't know if I could live here.
No, you need like 3 families to live there.
Yeah, it's a family house.
Yeah.
But you know, it's being a part of those things. It just shows like the intimacy level, right? Being surrounded by not a huge group of people, but you see people getting in there, sitting down, taking their shoes off, relaxing,
So
being in
good.
their own comfort zone.
Yeah.
That allows for more vulnerability, more transparency, and ultimately more community.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, from what I saw, I didn't spend the entire day there, but the little bit of time that I was there, and it just made it more convenient too, having food brought into the house. Nobody had to leave. Man, the critics are raving.
What would you rate the experience? And you've been involved with a lot of our stuff over the past couple of years. What would you rate that experience from 1 to 10?
10. Fucking 10.
That's so good. For anybody that's been living under a rock, he was referencing Billy Bob from Varsity Blues. Yeah.
Click Billy Bob.
Boom. Right. Sal, what's your feedback, man? I mean, you were a part of the whole thing. You did a lot of teaching. You did a lot of hosting. You did a lot of networking. Right?
It was great.
Yeah, what's your feedback? Hey, I'll get you back to the show in just a second. I just wanted to come on here real quick and encourage you that if you are a business owner that's looking for top level coaching and a great community because you're experiencing challenges in your business, all you got to do is click the link right in the description and we'll reach out with more information. Now back to the show.
Man, it was awesome. We've obviously been in a few masterminds, whether it's our masterminds or other people's masterminds, and this one just hit different for some reason, and I don't know the whole picture why this was so special, but I can only think of those things. Number one, that I think the location was amazing. Number two, it has to be the people. Like the community itself was so giving and so receptive at the same time. Usually masterminds is when a successful mastermind is when somebody goes up there and talk about their struggles in business and what they're successful in and what they need in the business, others would contribute. And I feel like the contribution was not just from our side, was from everywhere. And the camaraderie was there. Everybody felt like they knew each other for a long time. And it felt like the spark of a community right there and then. Specifically when we asked them, hey guys, hold us accountable to keep this community alive. And you see that real time happening. So that, in my opinion, I think that's a huge contributor to that. Obviously, aside from the great food, great talks, we had alcohol there,
cigars,
we had
drinks,
cigars,
pool.
We were having
music.
late night talks. It was great.
Yeah.
Early morning. It was. I mean, all of it was kind of magical. And to be honest, that's something that we've been looking for a long time. So for it to land at this time, it kind of felt like it was meant to be. And here it is. Everybody's asking us about it again, to do it again. And then we went back to the drawing board. We're like, do we do it again or not? And that, I think, how movements start. It's something you don't even plan. It's something that we didn't even plan at first. And somehow it happened. I'm glad it did.
Let me ask you guys, right? Because you guys did one in La Jolla.
Yeah.
A while back ago, right?
Yep.
Then you guys did one in Sedona. Right?
That was nice too, yeah.
How was this one different from those two?
I thought those two masterminds were absolutely incredible. But this mastermind made me cry on my massage therapist's table the following Wednesday.
I've cried there, by the way.
Yeah. I was overwhelmed with gratitude. And like I said, with hope and love and connection. You know, as I'm getting older, I've realized, you know, more and more that relationships are as important or even more important than money. You know, healthy relationships. And you know, healthy relationships, in my opinion, it's a pivotal factor of your health. Having healthy relationships, right, is a pivotal factor or a pivotal component of your overall health. I've noticed that. Whether it's having healthy friends, right? Mind, body, spirit, positivity, uplifting, empowering, right? Having healthy family around you, same thing under those categories, right? Having a healthy significant other is very important, right? Having a healthy partner, that's very important. Having a healthy environment, having a healthy environment at work, having healthy staff, team members, all of that. And once you begin to experience true health for what true health is, you don't want nothing to do with anything else or anyone else.
Yeah.
And that right there, that experience, that mastermind felt so healthy. You get what I'm saying?
I get. I receive.
Now, let me ask you this. Okay, you mentioned something. You said, man, like it felt like a movement was starting, a big movement. You know, it was the foundation, the groundwork of a big movement, right? And you're right. You know, it wasn't a moment. It could have been a moment. And that moment turned into a full-blown movement. And we've been at it with this particular venture and this particular community for 6 months. we started in February. Remember, that was the first event, and Empresarios, and it was just an idea, and we saw that there was a dire need in the business community, and we went for it, and we caught some traction, and then it died off, and then I don't know what happened. But now it's like we have the most momentum and the most traction.
I think fun too.
The most fun,
Yeah.
the most fulfillment and purpose that we've ever had in the years of community building and education.
Yeah, I think it has to do with the gratitude piece as well. The folks that were there, and I think that the type of avatar that we're attracting is so grateful for even some basic stuff that, and it's not because we're delivering it. They're grateful for it. They're grateful for it because they can take it and implement into their business that same day or the next day, and somehow it changes their business. Look at the SoCal Junkman. You highlighted him. He changed his business just from being on the calls, not even being a part of the mastermind. Then he came into the mastermind, and you have folks like that who can change their generational curse. They would break that generational curse from them just being trading hours for dollars, and they can actually build for the future with some simple tweaks. And the gratitude factor comes from that. Plus the people are amazing. I think that community is where they help each other. And in business, where we've learned that everybody's against each other, right? In business, we talk about collaboration versus competition, but in reality, everybody's competing with each other. But then you find a community that collaborates with each other, and that's the community that wins.
Yeah.
I was telling Carlos this the other day, right? Because we're no stranger to building what we thought was community, right? All in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
We had all of those, the elite, and tons of those people are still in our phones to this day that we call brothers or family and stuff like that.
We still do.
Exactly. So the difference though now is that those people that are in our phones, they didn't have, it was just like one-off conversations. Like they would reach out to us, we would reach out to them, we'd share that conversation. But this community, I was telling Carlos, I think it was that following Saturday, I found myself in the gym, and I felt like I was like, I'm gonna take a picture and I'm gonna throw it into that chat, right? And I threw it in there because everybody was throwing in their workouts or what they're doing and stuff like that, and just talking about, and it felt good, and it was like, that's cool. That's cool. That's something that we've always wanted, but we were never able to really grasp or put together, right?
Yeah, it was like a far goal. It was always a mirage.
It was, right? It was like the closer and closer you get, the further and further it got. But now all of a sudden, after this mastermind, is like, it was the catalyst, right? People are just in there daily. I mean, you wake up in the morning and people are sharing affirmations and taking their kids to school and all that stuff, You see Carlos and his dogs, and and people enjoy it, right? It's a full.
I've never been.
Or
that
your
active.
cousin's belly.
You've never been that active.
I've never been that active in any community.
Yeah.
That's the
Right?
biggest. That's the biggest surprise. Is like, if you guys are in there constantly, right? And it once again, it even sparks Sal, because now Sal's throwing in his workouts and stuff like that. So, yeah, man, I think from where we started to where we're at today is like, this has probably felt like this is the community aspect that you guys have always tried to accomplish.
I mean, look at the way things are kind of rolling out this week, or panning out for you even, right? Like somehow, some way, you're going to start dedicating some of your time to this other side.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like it's a very healthy thing even for you.
Well, if you guys don't recall, then when I jumped from real estate over to that side, it was in search of gratitude, right? And I explained this to a lot of people whenever we talk about it. It was like, in real estate, I'm helping the seller solve a problem to the point where they're so grateful that I helped them. But then once I'm done and the transaction is done,
Boom.
I got to go look for my next hit, right? It's like that dopamine hit. So when I jumped over to the other side and talking to and helping build community and helping build some of these, helping people with their problems. I wanted to plant as many seeds, and I can't remember where I heard this from, but I was like, at some point in my life, what I want to do is I want to plant so many seeds that if I'm ever in need of prayer for anything, I can shoot a text message out on my phone, and then the prayers would just start raining. Boom, boom, boom. And if I feel like I've done that, then I feel like I've served my purpose in life.
That's what we have here with this community, right? And I felt like we didn't have that with the elite community. I think we had it to some degree, but not as much.
Well, to the people that you still have in your phone, that's who you had it with.
Yeah.
But it was very personal.
But it's still different. Like real estate people are different than blue collar people.
I think the real estate people are used to. You're right. They're used to a certain degree of growth, and there's so much networking in the real estate. You're always connected. You're always searching what to do, how to do things, and there's a lot of YouTube videos and a lot of information
I
around
feel like
that.
there was so much distance in the real estate community versus here, where everybody is from different walks of life, and they're in multiple and various industries. You know what I mean? And they're just so much more attentive, and they need the community, and they want to contribute towards the community. In real estate, it just felt like, hey man, just show me how to make money, and that's good enough for me.
Well,
At least in our experience, but there is some successful communities.
But there's
sure.
few communities that I would
thriving.
say are connected to the level of what this particular community is.
Agreed.
But it's like professional athletes, right? We've always heard professional athletes still practice their sport, right? And they'll practice their sport, and then they'll do some weight training and some stuff like that. But then you always find those right? They talk about the receivers that used to take ballet. Why? It's a completely different industry, different type of athleticism and stuff like that. But it's teaching you something that you can take back to your profession, implement, and then be just that much better than everybody else out there. So by having a community like this filled with all kinds of different companies and businesses and all different walks of life, I can take something from a plumber and apply it to, my AC business, right? Or I can take something there and even apply it to a real estate business. So that's why when you're just niche to the real estate, you're only going to get real estate.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able, it's like, once again, you got to look at it from a different perspective. You're only getting the real estate perspective. But if you have this, it's like,
it almost feels like it becomes stale.
Yeah.
Here, this feels different. Like I'm telling you, I've never experienced, and I've been, like I said, I've been involved in our communities, but I've been involved in other communities, and this one feels real, and it feels deep, intimate, for sure. Like you said, I can call somebody right now and go have a beer with or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or I can go, and if someone is having a quinceañera or something, I can, you know what I mean? Right. But, let's go over the top 3 case studies. Like, what are your top 3 case studies that you saw? And then I'll give you mine. What were your, because we had about 25 different businesses in there. And not everybody presented, but I would say a majority definitely attempted to. And I think everybody's going to be even way more prepared now that people know what to expect. They're going to want to step their game up with their presentations. You know what I mean? What are some of your top case studies that you saw that you were just like, man, this was great?
I can't think of exactly the case studies. I can think about the dynamics of the whole thing, how it was. Like one thing we were up there and we're talking about one thing, for one company. For example, there was a refrigeration manufacturer, like a walk-in cooler manufacturing company.
Cold, right?
And we went and then we drew on the board. We're like, hey guys, you need a phone system. You need like an inbound phone system. Press 1, press 2 for to just to maneuver through these calls and to have a dedicated person to take payments, and it's a fairly large company, and that made me wake up. I'm like, it's a small company or large company, they all have true grit and like hustle, and they're working day in day out to make this work. But the problem is that they're missing everything around that business. Besides that, like the knowledge, the processes, the systems. If I found that being the most common denominator there, from the smaller businesses to the larger businesses, and I couldn't understand it until we concluded day 2, and I'm like, this is the biggest struggle in this industry. It's knowledge, number one, and number two is application of that knowledge that they don't even get exposed to, because all they do is work the trade, and that's the blue collar business. They focus on the trade versus the business itself.
Yeah. So for me, you know, there was companies there that were doing. I mean, what's 60 times 12? Mr. Sal, you're the
At 600,
you're the math wizard times
720.
12. So yep. So there was businesses in there that were doing 720,000 a year,
Yeah.
all the way up to 10 million, 12 million dollars a year.
Yeah.
Right. And oddly enough, my two favorite case studies were exactly those. The one that was doing the least amount of business at $60K a month, $720,000 in annual revenue.
Well, he wasn't at 60. He started at what?
Well, no, he started. Yeah. So okay, we'll get into that,
because I want people to understand, like, masterminds, you don't have to be making 600 grand or 500 grand to be a part.
No.
You can be a guy that makes $5,000 a month, $4,000 a month, and
well, when he started, so when Martin Vargas, right? You're talking about Martin Vargas from SoCal Junkman, right? When he started with us in February, he was making $11,000 a month in sales.
that's not profit. It's
No,
just,
it's top revenue, top line
so
revenue.
profit was like probably 30% of that.
It
or
was
something.
actually no. He said it was
yeah.
it was like
Higher.
15 or 20% or something. You don't remember?
I thought it was higher. No.
No, now he says now my net profit is
now it's
up
higher,
to
yes.
about 30%
Yeah.
now, right? So, you know, when Martin Vargas from SoCal Junkman started with us, he was doing $11,000 a month in February. By the time that the Mansion Mastermind came around, he was already doing $60,000 a month from just implementing some of the strategies that we discuss on a weekly basis.
But it
in
sounds
the
like not
community.
just that. You increased his top line
And bottom line.
and bottom line.
Yeah.
What if he was doing 15%? Now he's doing 30%.
Well, why is that though? Think about it. He tightened up. Like he improved his operations, and he improved his marketing and sales. Right. So what I'm saying is, my two top case studies were in fact, you know, the company that was making only $10,000 to $11,000 a month and is now making $60K a month, which is $720 a year, and then the refrigeration manufacturing company, Coldwright, that is doing $10 million a year, right? Those were my two top case studies, like my favorite case studies. And don't get me wrong, there was contracting, right? Here's where I actually wrote it down. The companies that were there. Ready? We had construction. We had general construction. We had luxury construction. We had commercial construction. We had real estate developers there. We had countertops, right? We had HVAC and plumbing. We had real estate agents. We had real estate investors. We had junk removal, manufacturing, demolition, and landscaping, and mortgages.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we had everything. We had everything under one roof. We can go build a village and get a loan, right? So again, here's why these two case studies, in my opinion, were my favorites. Number one, the impact that our community has had on that small business, to where they increase, they improve their, 6X, right? Like they were making 10, 11, now they're at 60. Like they 6X their business in just, 4 or 5 months or something, right? 6 months. You know what I mean? And so that was, to me, something that was very impactful even to me, right? And then on the other side, the reason why I like the $10 million in annual revenue company is because if he takes what he learned from the mastermind and implements it into his company, that 10 million can turn into 20 million in the matter of 12 to 18 months.
Yeah, I believe it.
You know what I mean? So the potential, right? Because what the other companies are, they're doing, 1 million, 2 million, 5 million, whatever. They go in there and they implement some of the strategies that we're teaching and we're learning at the mastermind. Yeah, the $1 million company can turn into 2 or 3, but for the $10 million company to turn into 20 million or 30 million, that is crazy. That is, like you said, that is generational life changing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So for me, those are my top case studies. Now, with that being said, what about Victor? What about the young man Victor that does manufacturing in Mexico?
Oh yeah.
That he's constantly, having to teach his pops about the way that business should be done now.
I remember that guy. He showed us his
his factory.
His factory, and there was all kinds
down in Mexico. Yeah.
And
he said, I'm cleaning it up. I fired all the, the bad actors in my company. My father's starting to listen to me, right? We were just so proud. And he's such a quiet assassin. Like, I didn't even know he was going to show up to the mastermind. He just rolled in.
Yeah.
And he had a presentation.
Yeah. His looks slick too.
So I'm looking forward to the next one. Now, the next subject here, Sal, is what did you see as common struggles, whether you were a $500,000 a year company or a $10 million a year company? What did you see?
Yeah, it goes back to what I just said earlier. And this is, I think if you're listening to this podcast and you're running into this problem, you probably can spot it a mile away, is that you don't have, you're picking up the phone, you're answering emails, you're answering text messages, you're doing the job yourself, whether you're a plumber or whatever, you're doing the job, you're under a sink or you're digging a hole or whatever you're doing, and you're having to deal with the business, answer phone calls and reply and send invoices and all the admin work that comes with it, deal with marketing, deal with problems, put out fires, and feels like there's not enough time in the day, and there has to be a better way to it wouldn't even be conceivable to hear $1 million or $2 million or $3 million in your business or to see those numbers. But it's doable. But you see people doing it, or you may think that this must be a lie. People are saying they're making this money, but I don't believe it. If you feel that is happening in your business, that's because you're missing systems and processes. And I would say, I can't say 10 out of 10 people, but all the people that we've seen in this trade so far, or in the blue collar that has came through us, if they have some systems, it's so basic. It's not even 2% or 5% of what a business needs. And you would implement something as simple as like 20% more, and that business explodes. And to me, that was a huge eye opener when I saw from the tens of $1,000 business to the millions of dollar business that are missing all of that. And they're just operating the business with true hustle and true grit. That's it.
And skill set.
Well, they're relying on the skill set of the
Labor.
trade itself. Yeah, the trade itself versus the skill set of being a business owner. And to me, that was a huge eye opener. And I can't believe that this is such an underserved area in the business or community.
Or industry.
It's a big industry. I mean, multiple industries that falls under that.
Everybody had the same struggles.
It was crazy.
Same challenges.
And some of those were even in real estate. So like you see that even in real estate companies. So to see that people are always just using relying on their trading hours for money is the problem, rather than them trying to replicate.
Would you say 90% of businesses are having these challenges in their business, or 95%, or even 99% of businesses are having these challenges in their business? What percentage would you allocate to
if it's a blue collar? I'm gonna say for a blue collar.
Real estate, respectfully, right? Real estate people are great at marketing and sales and making money, but they're terrible at business also.
You're absolutely right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So they might have the systems and process for marketing. Yeah.
Don't confuse just because they know how to market and they know how to convert and they know how to make money. Don't confuse that for they know how to run a real business. So what percentage would you say of the businesses across America, especially small to mid-sized businesses that are anywhere from 0 to $20 million in annual revenue are struggling with these challenges?
I can't pull a number out of my behind, but I can, from our experience, from what we've seen throughout the year since 2018 until today, I would say it's anywhere between 90 and 95%.
There it is. I was going to say the same thing. I think it might even be higher. Might even be higher, right?
Maybe it's generous. Maybe I'm being generous.
Maybe it's
call
99.
me Generous Sal.
Generous Sal.
So back to the point, right, of why this community is so different than what we've had in the past is like, if you see a common denominator, if we're in a real estate mastermind and you see a common denominator that all these businesses or all these real estate, these real estate companies are all facing this same challenge, it's easy to chalk it up to just the industry in itself. That's an unsolvable issue for that industry because everybody has it. But now if you fall into a mastermind like this where everybody, they're all different businesses, but this is the same issue. Be like, oh, okay, so then it makes it more eye opening. It was like, maybe that's not just the industry. Maybe there is a solution to it.
It's
right?
just business.
It's just business.
It's just business, right? And that's what I was gonna say. Like, you know, everybody has a product or a service, right? But here's what most people don't have in their business. Like, everybody has a product or service. Okay. Most people that have a product or a service are good at the service, or either the product's really good and they're making money, or the service that they provide is really good and they're making money. Like you said, right? Labor intensive. But when you start to, you know, when you lift the hood and you start to get in there, you begin to see that it's the same common challenges across all businesses in all industries. And no matter what the annual revenue is, I literally wrote it. It's either a system, it's systems and processes and people. Systems, process, and people. That is the common big challenges that are bottlenecking all these businesses across multiple industries. Would you agree?
Absolutely. It's like a big cloud on that industry.
Yeah, like here, if we even say something like as simple as like a system, right? Most companies out there don't have a CRM.
Yeah.
Or if they have a CRM, it's not efficient.
It's not functioning.
It's not structured, tailor-made for their business.
Well, let's start with this. It's a simple one. They all use their cell phone.
That's crazy.
The cell phone. So if they have to send, if let's say they have a crew that they have to send somewhere, they would take a screenshot of text message, or they always have to text their crew members rather than there's a process when there's a job coming in, it knows where it's supposed to go, just like how Amazon does it. When you buy a product, it goes to the conveyor belt and it gets shipped out. It's also labor intensive,
because
even
we're creatures of habit.
Well, yeah, but you're doing it every day you do it every day, day in, day out, and 1 week, week in, week out, month in, month out.
And then you're wondering why. And then you're wondering why you can't optimize your business and delegate your business, because there isn't anything to delegate. You haven't optimized.
You can't. And then now your hours are really limited to how many jobs you can even do for that day, because you are the bottleneck now, because you haven't created any efficient processes for your redundancies in your business. And that's just something that's just simple.
A small system.
Yeah.
Or some of them are like, they have like 3 softwares to do one thing, right? Like, instead of having a centralized hub where one software can do everything, you know, the invoicing, the text blasting, you know, the lead management, et cetera, right? They got to go here for this, and then they got to go here for that, and they got to go here for that. Now they're paying 3 different software companies, and they're literally, it's like in their eyes, it's organized chaos. You've seen that over and over and over, haven't we? Right?
Yeah, recommendation: don't do what we did when we had that issue, and then go build the software that centralizes it.
Yeah, just use one that's
use one that can do it already.
Edge leading software.
Because we were already, once again, we were in that same boat, right? When we're talking to sellers,
let's just build it.
We're working on Podio over here, and then we're running comps over here, and then I have to send an agreement out over here. It's like, okay, Sal got the brainchild. It was like, I think we can put all this in one centralized location, and it did.
No more.
Absolutely. So again, if any of you need help with your business and you want us to take a look at it, you know, it's absolutely no charge, right? Just text this number, text scale to 623-292-7575. Text scale, SCALE, to 623-292-7575, and one of us would love to just hop on a quick, you know, discovery call and see what you got going on, and see if there's anything we can do on our side to help you.
Yeah.
Can I send a message to the listeners?
Please. Yeah, then we'll close it.
I don't want, whether you text us or not, I urge you to do this. If you're in business that you feel like you're on the hamster wheel, and maybe you're improving every month, but it's so slight, the improvement is not as fast as you want it to be, or you feel like you're in a downward spiral in business. I urge you to do some research online, find a mastermind, find people who are successful in the trade, offer to buy them coffee or take them a lunch. Try to do better. Try to get out of that mundane thing. It doesn't have to be us. I'm not saying that we're the solution to this. We obviously can help. However, if you have an immediate circle that is not improving your business and you guys are talking only about sports and drinking and whatnot, consider that there is a better circle out there that you can add, or you can start to insert yourself in circles like that where it can help you improve as a person and improve as a businessman or businesswoman.
Yeah. Any last words from you before I close it out?
Yeah, I mean, just to kind of piggyback off of Sal, you're not in this alone. Every problem, every issue that you're going through, somebody's already gone through it. And some people are going through it again for a second cycle, right? Just at a bigger level. You're not alone. Lean, something that I had to learn, right? Humble yourself and lean into somebody that maybe you thought you were better than them at some point, that is now doing better than you, and see how you guys can collaborate. Ultimately, it works for the both of you.
And here's what I'll tell every single listener out there, whether they're an active business owner or an aspiring one. We all do this because we want freedom in our lives, right? You and I, we spent a week Oceanside with our family. That's freedom. I mean, we have done that. We've done that, I think we did that in Hawaii and stuff like that, but this one was a little different, right? This one
was a lot different. For me personally, it was.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But how did you feel? Was it real free to be on a beach house on the sand where you can literally walk 50 feet and be in the ocean, right? Like, did that feel like freedom to you?
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Please talk to the business owner out there and let them know that's what real freedom feels like. And if you're not living life to have those moments, you're going to die with a lot of regret.
Yeah. For me, it's like, even when we went to Hawaii, right, for your engagement, I felt a taste of freedom, but there was also a lot of restriction there too, because, I would wake up and then you guys would be working, right? And I'm like, oh, and then even Sierra would be like, hey, should you be out there working? I'm like, probably. I don't know.
It felt good to work on the beach.
I was like, I don't know, probably. So then I would get down there. I
remember that. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I would get down there and I would start working with you guys. And then, but this time around, it was like, I woke up in the morning.
And then I would serve you a drink.
You would serve me a drink. And what I say, I would tell her, I was like, hey, before I do that, boom, 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 just shoot a couple messages, point direction, give this is what needs to happen, shut my computer for the rest of the day, leave my phone inside the room and go downstairs.
Yep.
And that's why it truly felt like.
Felt so good.
Even if there was a fire that popped up, I know by the time we got back, like, it'll still be burning and we can get there to put it out, or it'll be put out by the time we got back.
And see, that's what I'm saying. That's real freedom, right? And every business owner out there, we're in a cage. Like, if you're not systemizing, right, and you're not structuring your company properly, you're living in a cage, and you're going to die in that cage. You're going to be 60 years old in that cage. Your kids are going to grow up. They're going to leave the house. They're going to get married, and you're still going to be there.
You're not just going to miss freedom. You're going to miss living.
And then, absolutely, right? You're like, and then guess what? At your funeral, your kids are going to be like, hey, how was your dad? And then you're going to be up there.
He worked hard.
He's like, he was such a hard worker. Like, he was working all the time. That's not what you want your kids to say.
Oh.
No, my dad used to drop me off at school. We used to take, the summer vacations on the beach. I'll never forget that. And then guess what? Now you're gonna pass that on to them, and they're gonna start doing that with their children. That's freedom. That's legacy, and that's what working for your family really is. Because we're always talking about, like, oh, my why is my family. I work so hard for my family. Okay, but are you just always working for your family, and you're never with your family, and you're never creating memories and experiences with your family? Because at that point, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, at that point you become an employee of the family and not the CEO.
Actually, it became so for my family. I can speak for my family at least. I know you guys do it in a different way.
Yeah.
For us, like, we have our annual cruise that we take. no matter what.
I
We
can't
have
do those,
we have
bro.
our
With the
annual
Arabic singers and stuff,
or,
that's too much, bro.
or
The disco
biannual.
ball and the la da da.
Especially after
da,
watching
da,
Poop
da,
Cruise?
da. Huh?
Bro, that was
Especially after
crazy.
watching
Poop Cruise?
We watched it when we were up there, bro.
Oh,
That
God,
shit's
yeah.
great.
We're good, bro.
I mean, I go on
The Poop Cruise, bro. You in the Poop Cruise?
I don't go on the poop.
The Arabics?
Oh man,
no, I get it though.
But
You
the
take
point
them
is that
on
like
cruise, yeah.
we go to like we try to go at least once or twice to Disneyland. Like we have these things that are non-negotiables
Boom.
because this is what life became. Like for us is we need to live our life and enjoy our time with our families. We worked so hard, but we can't continue to work so hard toward nowhere. So we put mechanisms and things in place where we can travel, we can enjoy our time with our families while the business is running. While we're out there, the business is still running. And that's the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is for a business owner to exit. And as soon as I say that to people, they think, oh, no, I don't want to sell my business. No, I'm not asking you. This exiting doesn't have to be selling the business. That's just one way. You can exit in two ways. You can exit internally and you can exit externally.
We have from some companies.
Absolutely. Exiting internally, meaning that you've heard people say that I'm a CEO and founder of business, right? Of this business. But then you hear some people saying that I am the founder of this business, meaning that they stepped out. All they do now is just collect money and maybe show up once a month to a meeting or once
It
a week
almost
to a
feels
meeting.
passive.
It does. So that's exiting internally. And now if you want to sell a business, then you exit externally. But you can't do any of these things if you don't have systems, processes, SOPs,
And people.
and obviously
Leadership.
and the right leadership team that you can delegate that to, and they're able to delegate it to the other members. So it's not that hard. However, people don't consider that because they feel like it's so far-fetched. It's such an unattainable goal.
But they don't know how to either, Sal.
But
Come
we're
on.
here to. I mean, I hope this message
They don't know
resonates.
how.
It
That's
is.
the-
It
They
is
know
not
how
that
to
hard.
work and make money.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. Number one. Number two is not that far reaching. You just
But
have
it
to.
is for an owner operator who all he's ever known is hard work.
No, I get it, but there's one thing
The
they can change.
mindset has to
The mindset
shift.
has to change. That's it. If you're willing to accept that there is a better way, and the better way is not what you're doing right now, that's all you need, and then the rest is easy.
Well, when do people come to us? When they're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah.
So again, if you're sick and tired of being a slave in your business, of having, if your business feels like a cage, then text SCALE, right, to 623-292-7575. Let us see if we can help. Go ahead, Adrian, and we'll close it out.
Yeah. So, at the end of the day, you had a podcast that you shot with Brian Colhane. Remember him? The big, tall dude from Sedona.
Colhane,
Yeah.
Mulvaney. Oh, Colhane, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
EXP.
I'm
Was
repeating.
is it EXP?
Yeah.
EXP is one of the founders of EXP, and he said it.
Well, I don't think he was a founder, but he was right under the president. And he was one of the biggest leaders in that company. Yeah.
Right, and he said it. He was like, if you can't show up for the money, is the money going to show up for you?
Mm.
He was on his he broke his hip and he couldn't work anymore.
Mm.
If you can't work anymore, is the money still going to come in?
Oof.
If you lost the ability to walk, if you lost the ability to talk, if you lost the ability to see, are you still going to be, is your business still going to be able to survive? If the answer is no, then you definitely need somebody to extract all that information in your head and put it into some sort of
ASAP.
some sort of nice little package to deliver.
ASAP. With that being said, gentlemen, it's been a good one. Thank you for tuning in this week. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And also, I've been getting back to every single one of you in the comment section. So continue to bring those our way. And again, I would also appreciate if you liked and share this episode or any other episode that you've enjoyed from this show. Thank you.